think it's a big deal, especially because we're looking at our work as being a little different. We're very inclusive in all our programs. We run supported employment programs, not sheltered workshops, which are the current alternative to families that can afford it. We do not charge any fees for our training program. We pay salaries to all our team members. And as of this financial year, we have included PF and employee insurance as well. So we're trying to create an environment, trying to create an organization that is, it's two-pronged. So we are an NGO, and so we can fortunately avail of the benefits of being an NGO. And also we are trying to run a social enterprise, which is almost like a live demonstration of what is capable if our team members, which are PWIDDs, persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities, are given a safe and supportive environment to work and earn and learn and thrive and just be a part of the community. So that's where Yash Charitable Trust is coming from.
Okay, because I really love this idea of inclusion coming so well. And when you spoke about a curriculum, Ashaita, here, when the team member comes to join the charitable trust for its activities, do you have a particular baseline from which you choose the team members who are eligible to be part of the team? And what is this curriculum all about?
Yes. So we have a very basic criteria for anyone who wants to join us. So one is that they have to be an adult. Anyone only above 18 can officially be a team member of Yash Charitable Trust. Apart from that, the person must have a disability certificate. And the third thing is that they must be able to use the facilities by themselves. So we don't want to have anyone who is unable to use the toilet by themselves. That I think is also linked to our, our need to have a certain level of hygiene that we can maintain without necessarily needing too many, supervisors or minders and that kind of stuff. We want people to see us as a professional organization where we don't want. We're not running a day. We established that we are not running a daycare center. So any parent or family that comes to us and says, please keep my son and daughter busy or occupied for the day, we say, I'm sorry, we're not interested in having people like that join us. Most importantly, the person needs to want to work with us. And when I say work, meaning work, that means you have a list of responsibilities. The parents and the families also must be as equally invested, because if the family is not interested, then this is not going to work. And we've had team members who've tried out and not liked, the kind of way that we're functioning. They preferred the workshop model, which is fine. We in no way are saying we are better or not. We just want to provide an alternative. So when it comes to so I answered your question about the criteria. When it comes to them joining us, so this is all now after 5 years of being in operation. Now we have a structure in place where we have an interview process. So the individual will come with the family, be interviewed. We have to even, when talking to them, we'll get to know what that, we establish the baseline based on our interviews with them. What they like to do, what they want to do, where they see themselves going forward. Do they have any goals in life? What are their passions? So this is all just, we find that out during this interview. And then once the individual confirms and says, yes, I want to learn. Yes, I want to do, work in a cafe. Or even now we have somebody on our team who wants to be a trainer. So we are training this person, differently abled person, to be a trainer. And she's now training some of the junior trainees who've come in. And so it's like a full cycle. After they finish the training course, which is usually 6 months to a year, depending on each individual, they're put through this training module, which has been developed by us. I cannot share too many details about the curriculum because I'm not the one, I wouldn't be the right person to describe it. Right now, it is right now it is leaning towards the F&B industry because we are operating two and actually three programs under related to F&B, food and beverage. So there are hard skills associated with things like knife skills, mixing, making different mixtures, atta, how to make rice. I mean, the list is endless. Chopping skills. They have different kinds of, whether it's julienne or cubes, and so they're put through the training modules for that. Even things like how to hold a knife. We use all real kitchen equipment. We do not use plastic. We have a first aid kit, and we have a doctor that's located close by in case any emergency. But fortunately, nothing like that has happened. I think maybe a couple of burns and nicks and cuts, but then we all, hurt ourselves in the kitchen anyways while we're cooking. And then apart from the hard skills, we also have soft skills training. So soft skills can include things like just communication, simple communication. How do you interact with someone? What is good touch, bad touch, appropriate language, not appropriate language? So for example, in the cafe, what would be, how do you interact with your customers? Being polite, teaching them things like how to say thank you, please, sorry. I'm not saying that I'm just generalizing here. Some of our team members, of course, already are well versed in that. Some need that extra help. Again, this is all depending on what they want to do. So if a person wants to be a greeter, that person will be trained more extensively on their communication skills. If a person is just interested in cooking and just loves recipes, then we will focus our training on those things that the individual likes. So I always say that we work within a strength-based framework, which means that we identify the strengths and then hone in on those and try and develop those particular skills. We focus on the ability, not on the disability.
And the ability is a choice of the individual, because you said if a person wants to be a greeter, wants to try new recipes, which means you see where their interest is or what they state is their area of interest that you train them.
I definitely the former, what you said, we ask them, and a lot of them actually know, Rashmi, what they like doing, or they'll communicate it in some way. They'll show it to us in some way. Taking Aarti as an example, I mentioned to you earlier, she's a social butterfly.
Yeah.
So for her to be a greeter was a no-brainer. Putting her in the kitchen, she is not going to remember any recipe. Her mind is fixated on, we have music playing in the cafe, which I curate. And it's so funny. So, there'll be music playing. And if Aarti is just sitting and, we don't have any, she's not actively serving someone or greeting someone, she's listening. Her attention is entirely on the music. And so whenever a song ends, she claps and she cheers when the song ends. And it's the cutest and sweetest and, heartwarming thing for me, because very often you'll see if a customer is sitting there, they'll just suddenly, look up because she started clapping and people are wondering why she's clapping, because not everyone is tuned into the music like Aarti is. And I am as well. So I know where this is coming from. And it's so cute because she's just so happy and clapping and the customers join her. And I think that's just so wonderful. Or they'll smile at her, they'll, encourage her. And it's just such a lovely moment. And, it just adds to the environment and the ambience that we're creating at Cafe Arpan.
It really shows. It definitely shows. And your commitment to the whole thing and belief in that intent, the power of intent, is so wonderfully coming out, Ashaita. And that's what is making this conversation that much more deeper.